If you think about a battle that's taking place, sometimes you have a very well-established fortress and you've got someone that's stationed to watch the front. And it doesn't matter how strong the army is, it doesn't matter how strong or formidable the fortress is, if that person that's in charge of watching the enemy, watching the front, turns away and he's caught off guard, he puts the entire army at risk. Everything that's been accomplished at risk. Everything suddenly becomes vulnerable. Even though it's only one person or a group of people that have been entrusted with that particular task, everyone is at risk if that group of people, particularly who are supposed to be watching the enemy, leave their fort, leave their station. A very practical example is the Battle of Uhud. Wasn't it only 50 archers that were put on that mountain to watch the other side of Uhud to make sure that the enemy could not come from behind? So even though it might be a small group of people or a fraction of the entire army, your entire game becomes vulnerable if that part of it is no longer observant. And one of the most dangerous things that happen to us is when we start to assume that because we are busy, because we are tired, because other people are telling us that we're doing good things, because we feel like we're doing good, that I must be on the right path. I must be pleasing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala right now. Allah tells us in the Quran, قُلْ هَلْ نُنَبِّئُكُمْ بِالْأَخْسَرِينَ أَعْمَالًا الَّذِينَ ضَلَّ سَعْيُهُمْ فِي الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا وَهُمْ يَحْسَبُونَ أَنَّهُمْ يُحْسِنُونَ صُنْعًا. Allah mentions losers, complete losers, people that think they're doing good. Why? Because they're tired, they're busy, all the deeds that they're doing seem to be good, but at the same time they're misguided in their performance, and because of that they come to find out on the Day of Judgment that none of it actually benefited them. And a lot of times this is a big problem, that you think that I must be doing good. Because you can feel burdened and not necessarily be benefited. There's one of the most powerful sayings of Ibn al-Qayyim rahimahullah, where he mentions al-amalu bi-ghayri ikhlas. Actions that are done without sincerity, the most essential component of not just accepted good deeds, but sustainability of those good deeds until you meet Allah, because your khitam, your ending determines in all. He mentions that the example of a person who acts without sincerity, كَالْمُسَافِرُ يَمْلَأُ جِرَابَهُ رَمْلًا. It's like a person who fills his water jug. Imagine you're in the desert and you're on a journey and you fill your water jug with dirt. يُثْقِلُهُ وَلَا يَنْفَعُ. It burdens you, but at the end of the day, when you need to take a sip, when you've been carrying it along, as you're carrying it, you're assuming because the jug is heavy, then it must be beneficial water. And when I'm thirsty and I take a sip, then it's going to benefit me. But then, after you've been burdened this whole time, you open it up and you dump it and it's nothing but dirt on your face. So it doesn't do anything for you. Because you weren't actually asking yourself the question, what's actually in this jug? What are the contents of this jug? Not just am I tired, not just am I, do I feel like it must be good. I'm not making assumptions. And yes, I'm going to say this very clearly. Don't make assumptions about your sincerity. Even if you started off sincere. It's very easy to lose that sincerity. So don't make assumptions that because at one point in your life you had a sincere epiphany, that your current trajectory with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is sincere and good. You might get caught off guard and come to find out that somewhere along the way you lost your way, but you just assumed that you were still doing it right. And so it's important to always reassess. Important always to analyze ourselves. Both the intentions to make sure that the contents are sincere, as well as the direction to make sure that it's in accordance with the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ and the righteous predecessors, the pious predecessors. Don't make assumptions that you're safe.